Hey everybody, welcome back to LMB Outdoors. Today we're going to go over some of the equipment that we've got here recently, plus we're going to go pick up something else. So y'all stay tuned. I went to a good buddy of mine's and he had this. It's been sitting for a couple of years. He had a big hay operation years ago, kind of got out of it, did a lot of round belling, and he had this old cutter, and of course it needs a little work. I've went and tested it a little bit, but he's letting me borrow it, and I'm sure appreciative of it. And we got some wheels for our 3-point hay rake, and tested that out. I didn't get any video of that. I was kind of in a crunch. Here's the 3-point hay rake, the wheeled hay rake. Got some used wheels off another old rake from a buddy of mine. And to be honest with you, I used it the other day just kind of testing it out. And I really like it. I've never used a wheel rake, always just a roller bar rake. I really do like it. I adjusted the pitch on it a couple of different settings, and it just seems like it did not really want to work and pick up the hay as much, except in the full position like this. And if you look at it, it's it makes it a narrow swath when you go through there. I don't like that. I think that roller bar rake is a little wider swath, which means that's more time in the field just raking. But overall, I like the way it rakes. I like the way it works. So we're gonna keep rocking with it. Sorry about the wind. It is a little windy, but we got the tractor loaded up. We're going to go pick up another piece of equipment. So y'all just come along for the ride, and let's go get it back to the house and see what all it needs. Y'all hang in there. Well, we made it. No problems. Got the ramps on, got it all unstrapped. Let's get this thing off of here and go pick this thing up. it is a little disc mower. It's got 4 pods. Story of it has been sitting for about 15 years. Untouched. Ain't been used. I'm sure it's gonna need lots of tinkering. But it is a Kuhn. And I want to say it's a 44 model. But I'm not quite sure, and it's hard to see that tag. We're gonna try to get this thing loaded up. Get it on back to the house. All right, it's loaded up. We ain't going very far, so we'll just go slow and easy. So looking at this, I did look down and was able to read it, and I don't know if y'all will be able to or not, but it is a GMD 44. So it is a Kuhn 44 model. And just obvious signs, of course, sitting up for 20 years. I went ahead and I got the PTO shaft back on it. It just needed a little cleaning up, and just kind of slid it back together. And of course, everything will be greased, but the hydraulic shaft seal is leaking. So that's no biggie. I can rebuild that, no problem. Of course, the drums pods was kind of froze up, but I kept tinkering with it back and forth just by hand. I didn't even have to put a wrench on it, but they turn now. The blades are a little bit worn down, so we'll probably have to go after a set of blades. We're going to pop that plug on the gearbox, check the oils in it. Now, previous owner stated that his father, years ago, about 15 or so years ago or longer, the reason he quit using it was down here under the main bar, it developed like a pinhole oil leak, and he just parked it and never went to use it again. So we will have to get all that cleaned up and see if we can't locate that leak. We'll have to raise this up, put oil in it, lower it back down, and kind of put it on jack stand, see if we can find where the leak's coming from, and either braze, weld, or something up that leak where we can keep the oil in there. But we're going to try to clean this up a little bit and get some of this dirt. This end drum that's got this cover over it, it's full of dirt and ants. We're going to try to get that out. But we're just going to tinker with it and see what we can do with it. It's better than that one there, locked up. Eventually one of these days I'll get into that gearbox. With it cooled down a little, it'll turn, these pods will turn a little bit. So I really do think it was a bearing or something that let go in that gearbox. I popped that cap open, and I knew originally that it was supposed to be an oil bath gearbox. Somebody went in there and filled it with grease, and I've always added grease to it just through that vent, but I never did pop the cap off, and that's my fault. I never did pop the cap off just to see what the level was in it. And when I popped it off the other day when this quit, the level of the grease was just a touch lower than what that bearing is on that main input shaft. So that's partly my fault, but we'll try to get it back a going. If we don't, we can use it for parts, or it can go to the scrap metal pile. I mean, there's things you can use off of it. I mean, the frame itself, hydraulic cylinder, belts, PTO shaft, breakaway. I mean, there's a lot to it that we can use off of it if need be. So it won't be wasted if it is deemed that I'm not going to repair it. But yep, that's where we're at. Break out the shop vac on that one. There's still a lot of dirt in it. I think this was sitting down in the dirt and in the clay for the past 15 years.
But I think it'll clean up. Worst case, I'll get the pressure washer to it. Well, at least you can see the bolt head in there now. And I got ants crawling all over me. We'll be back. Well, we're gonna go unhook this wheel rake if the rain holds off. Looks like we might get wet here in a minute, but I'm gonna work until it starts. All right, it's disconnected. Let's go see if we can't hook up to that little Kuhn 44 disc mower. Well, she works. Well, with a little testing, I think we might have found where our leak might be coming from. It smells 90 weightish. So we'll have to clean that area up, see if we can't find a leak. Hey, that'd be good if it's on top. We'll just have to see. 15 years sitting in the woods. It's awesome. I found it. About the size of almost the size of a pencil eraser. And if you hold the light just right, you can see gears in there moving. So I'm going to put the turtle shell back over it so rain won't get in it, because it's starting to sprinkle on me now. I'm fixing to have to make a mad dash inside. We'll pick it up at a later date.